Not another step. Oh. I hope they haven't harmed them. I was raised to honor my father. How can you be so sure? Only, I still have the feeling that for him I'm only a daughter. It seems so. Of course, you've had quite a lot of exertion for one day. I hope you're right. I think I understand you. I can relate to that too. You haven't seen your father for a long time, have you? Well, here we are. I'm not keen on going into that darkness. Of the dark? Me? I'm not a little girl. But God knows what we'll find inside. Especially at the far end. All right. I'll let you in. All right. Henry, are you all right? Are they gone? All of them? Ah, my hero. But since I'm the one who knows the way, I'll be going first. Stick close to me. Let's go. And keep fighting the good fight. Yes, thank God. After all that's happened. What? Do you expect me to hug and kiss you? Is this how you're going to bid farewell to me after all of this? How about this? Oh, why not? This is probably the last time we'll see each other. I'm grateful that you saved my father. But you made the wrong decision at Malashov. We have kin there. We can't return to Kuttenberg for the time being. I won't forget you, Henry. If you ever happen to travel around Podiebrad, I'd be pleased to see you again. Wait, I haven't properly thanked you for saving Father. So, farewell. I hope that I never see you or your band again. Farewell, Henry. Your heart is in the right place. Maybe this won't be the last time we see each other. Stay the way you are. Are you sure about that? And that's saying something. Except for his squire saving your neck just now. We'll be praying for you. Christ almighty! We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous. Just look at him, Father. What could he even do? Alone. That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful. What else was I supposed to do? And what about you? You've been telling me all along to keep a level head. But I do honor you, Father. Maybe even more than you think. Reason with him? When did reasoning with him ever lead to anything? Aye, I do. Aye, I saw that. We'll see about that. Neither did you. Henry most of all. And now, many years later, fire still gives us a feeling of safety. Because that's what it was like for our ancestors. Will you get any sleep? With so many men, the snoring must be unbearable. But we never bragged about it. I hope so. Who knows? Maybe it would come in useful. Before people lived in towns and villages, they needed fire for warmth and to keep away wild animals. Above all, I pray he's all right. Him, Martin, and all the others. I think you'll pick it up just fine. Quite possibly. Father spent a fortune on them, buying them whenever he could. Dresses. Most of the space was taken up by my books. Until recently. Who said I'm afraid? I always have my crossbow to hand. Even when I'm asleep. I could teach you to read if you want. And write. It's not that hard. There might be some truth in that. Well, yes. Why's that? My father and I used to sit like this almost every evening. We'd look into the fire and talk about everything under the sun. The worst of the mess has already been cleaned up. Thank God. It was like a pigsty when we arrived. My father used to say it's natural. I really couldn't complain. And I will fight my own battles. Oh, so better to tuck his tail and keep his mouth shut? That's on purpose. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life. Not just time, above all, talent. I did, only I must do it on paper. Fortunately, nobody is interested in your opinion. Least of all, the author. If you're trying to flatter me, it's a little late, don't you think? Rein it in. Why? Perhaps he feels the world is unjust. My brother fought and fell defending the city. That doesn't matter. The author wished to remain anonymous, and shall remain so. Well, let's say that I identify with the author. We share a similar view of the world. A writer is interested in what lies beneath the gilded veneer of orderliness and piety. Why are you pestering me so? You found it. I thank you. But we don't have to talk about this anymore, all right? Because it's my book. I wrote it. And I'd really hate to lose it. The written word does the most harm to those looking for a thorn to prick themselves on. The speed at which you pass judgment is truly admirable. I just agree with the author on many things. As if I were reading my own thoughts. Just so you know, the Ruthards are not cowards. My father is sitting in jail because he went against the crown. Because it's much more interesting. Sure he does. Courage, honour, loyalty. But others have already written enough about those. Perhaps he cannot. Perhaps writing is the only way he can express his views. Or perhaps the way the author comes to terms is by writing about it. I already told you, it's important to me. Really? You happen to be looking at such a female writer right now. Do you find me ridiculous? And it shows. Oof. Be careful. But it's not very comfortable. This is not how one carries a lady, you barbarian. Is that how you carry a lady, you oaf? You seem to be quite enjoying this. What of your conscience? Why not? And what kind of a man is he? I was hoping for something a bit deeper than beauty. That's 2 words, but I'll forgive you. And do you want it to be an ordinary villain or an ordinary do-gooder? And I, as an author, even if unknown, have the final say. If Father heard me, he would give me a tongue-lashing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks, and isn't that rather detrimental for a girl? And that strikes you as an excusable bad trait. And for what reason? Enlighten a rich man's daughter. But we could at least stitch them up. Oh dear! You thought that under the pretense of writing a book and cultivating our minds, I invited you here for some purely physical entertainment. But I suppose I should be glad you got me here in one piece. Oh, come now. But it's nothing new. I'm looking for a way to spice it up. Maybe throw in a moral to the story. But at least I could change something. Really? No offence, but I can't imagine you hiding those muscles of yours under a frock. That may be true. But I still think it would sound better if she were also defending the interests of someone else. You'll have to try a little harder. Otherwise we'll be here until Judgment Day. I understand why she got your attention. What happened to her? Cold-blooded, bloody, and best of all, unjust. I like that. He just didn't finish it in time. They run under most of Italian Street. The lines between good and bad are fairly blurry these days. But have you ever done anything against the law? What if I take that as a criticism then? Not a philippic, of course. More like a little nudge. What exactly would you like to know? Nothing is as perfect as it may seem, but it certainly offers plenty of topics for writing. Can you think of anything? Well, I've never taken much of a liking to them, but if you say so, I'll put a more interesting feather in her cap. Be careful. Come back in one piece. Would she do it for herself or for someone else? You can't disagree with that. And to make things a little more interesting, the love will be secret and forbidden. Fine. After all, in every fairy tale, all the girls are pretty and all the knights are brave. That's a good idea. His mouth gets him into trouble, but in the end, also out of it. All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her. How should I start? You can tell if there's a cavity behind the wall by the sound it makes. The gallery is also damp, so the spot might be a different colour. Not bad at all. A perfect saint, but she could write so. Ah! I will engage in no such defence. How should our little beauty end up? How in the world did you end up there? Oh, don't worry. I've been climbing up there ever since I was a little girl. It's been abandoned for years, but we could use it. According to the drawings, it's very close to the court cellars. Christian of Pisek confirmed it. We'd better get writing. It's good that you say that. For a strong story, we need conflict. Whose side would you take? I agree. And while Our Lady in the story may be beautiful, her pretty face alone won't bring about that happy ending. Are the clothes for Goodwin's entourage clean enough? Anyway, which bad character traits will our rich man have? Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part. You've got it. But instead of being completely evil, let's make her just spiteful and a bit cunning. You're right. Moreover, a stupid rich man can easily be fooled by a poor man, because cleverness doesn't cost a groschen. Getting me all wet like that! You've got no shame. Any other interesting ladies come to mind? So far, only the section from Ruthard Palace to the crypt under the church is accessible. That's true. But in just the same way priests can charm others with their faith to hide their sinful nature. Or better yet, that I would change overnight into a sun. Yes, the endless desire to have more than your neighbours. But I like your description more. It's more to the point. She wouldn't be the first or the last. What did she do that was so horrible? Leave me be! I'll walk on my own 2 feet. I presume he did something and was hiding in the monastery so they couldn't get him? I'll figure it out somehow. You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even. I don't mean me in particular. I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind. We have to get writing. Well, whatever you've done. I'd rather not know. Oh, well, fine. You've convinced me. Maybe we should try something else. Very well. Forgive me. But it wouldn't hurt to choose your words a bit more carefully. Very well. You win. I walked into that one myself. We'd better get back to writing. Well, finally something sensible out of you. Let's get started. Well, you could have been gentler. I don't think you'd be welcome at a royal court. But I am dry, so I thank you. Never mind. Back to our story. Very well, then. It'd just be a bit of a tease anyway. No, I'll guide you this time. It's just below the walls. You only need to know where to turn. Well, let's see. A priest is living proof that no man exists without sin. And what did the little sheep in his flock think of that? But if the lady in our story is clever, should she employ her wits for good or evil? Let's get started. Really? Nobody? That's too bad. Really? Well, let's get on with it. After what you did to Malashov, we may have lost everything we had. It's a safe route for anyone who wants to disappear undetected. Just like the one we took to get here. No one that I know of. The servants used it to dispose of waste. I've got plenty of time. Tell me more. Very well. And what kind? You'd better hold your nose and look before your feet when you enter. Come back in the morning, all right? One man's prison is another man's freedom. Strange, isn't it? Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? Excuse me? Because forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest. Tell me instead about the fate of our beauty. But please, leave her dressed. Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl? I understand. But when you stand against an enemy, do you still perceive him as a person? I wouldn't want to tangle with her. I'm sorry to hear that. But I suppose you brought it upon himself. May the Lord rest her soul. Clara, from the Latin clarus, means light, God willing. Do you know any others like that? Judging by the decoration on your neck, your understanding of a warrior is fairly unorthodox. I agree. Too bad it's only on paper. I'd like to meet Our Lady in the flesh. I agree. And I've even got an idea of what to write. Just wait. I'll give it to him. That fancy neck decoration just proves it. I'd rather not know your past. You know what, lover boy? Go take a good cold bath. Then come back and we'll start writing. Such a skeptic. You sound like someone twice your age. I like those stories best anyways. So, you proposed a murderer? What has driven him to this act? What was his motive? So, you're another man who thinks a woman's tongue is a useless organ. So, you simply divide us all into clever girls and dumb hens? Certainly not. Only reading about a do-gooder living contentedly on his pile of coin is a bit boring. Now, I can barely see in this darkness, and I'm almost out of candles, so I have to save them. You'd be surprised. My father is no fool, but at times he wishes I were more of a goose. That is probably true. Well, we still have work to do. That's precisely the beauty of anonymous writing. I can make fun of anyone I want, without being punished. So the villain will be some filthy rich old fart. What do you say? That would be a joy to write. I can just see it. I'd like to listen to one of his masses sometime. Rich or poor, we're all the same before the eyes of God. You clumsy oaf! Have you got 2 left hands? You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking. That's blasphemy. You really know how to flatter a lady. Oof, enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. I'll walk the rest of the way myself, before you drown me. But when someone is corrupted by their wealth, it's an invitation for someone to get rich off them. My father said King Wenceslas had long suspected he had enemies among his own ranks. Maybe he had an escape route built. If I climb up there, I can cover you from above. Just in case. It leads from the kitchen, so I'm sure you can imagine. Bones, scraps, slops. Sure, why not? But in the end, his jesting should save him from punishment, so it ends well. Injured pride is as dangerous as human conceit is infinite, and that is a much more interesting story. You'll see. Forsooth. So you're another little thief who steals from the rich, gives to the poor, and spins the ladies' heads around. Do you remember any others? So not a saint, but a foolish hen. What was she thinking? That's asking for the pillory. Or worse. Do you know one like that? Tell me about her. And I expect he won't mind if you borrow a few books from there. And St. James's is right next to the Italian court. But one thing crossed my mind. If you have the time, you could have a look in King Wenceslas' library. But suspicious. Why the sudden change of heart? I don't expect you want to march through the main entrance, where everyone can see you, and break the gate down while you're at it. The sooner the better. What else could I have expected from you? What do you say, Lord Capon? Thank you for everything you've done for us, Henry. You're a good man. What about the captives? This is not what we agreed to. Nor would I. Couldn't your brother help us instead, Lord Pisac? Got it. Got it. It's somewhere upstairs in the palace. I've heard there are unique manuscripts there. One day you'll make someone very happy. And how are you going to get inside? God and me. Do you want to get into the court? Then you need Ruthard Palace. You want Ruthard Palace? Then I'm coming along. I don't think Henry shares your sense of politics, sir. Henry, thank you. I'm so glad my faith in you wasn't misplaced. Whichever way the wind blows, is it?
St. James's Church owes its existence in part to the generous donations of the Ruthards. So in the past we had a secret underground entrance built into its crypts.
My father! I want to offer you an olive branch, and I hope you'll accept it.
Not all young noblewomen devote their days to embroidery, Sir Peter. I look after Father's documents, and I know all about the plans of the passageways beneath our palace.
Don't worry, you'll get your coin soon enough.
Aren't you being a bit too welcoming, Sir Peter? And then I suppose we'll ride out with you. Nothing good awaits us in this town anymore.
We didn't get on as well as we might have, Henry. But maybe I misjudged you. I'll never forget what you did for us today. What you did for me. We don't have time for proper thanks. My pleasure, Sir Knight. The silver's not going anywhere, but my father is imprisoned here by the most powerful man in Hungary. What if he gets the notion to harm him?
We'll go back to Ruthard Palace and wait for you all there. That passageway is frightening. But what the hell?
The palace will be closed and may be guarded. As the captain commands. Then let us agree to disagree. Better than nothing. That's a weight off my shoulders.
In short, you can theoretically walk directly from Ruthard Palace to the Italian court.
You've done enough already.
Really? What about tunnelling in? There are hundreds of tunnels beneath the city, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them runs beneath the court.
I realise it was just that silver that mattered to you all. But even so, thank you.
There's not only a passageway to the church, but also down to the river. I know it like the back of my hand. I could show Henry the way if you like.
Good luck. I'll pray for you all, Henry. But you didn't disappoint me after all we've been through.
You were absolutely sure about that. Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
What did you think?
What about Vabak? You were supposed to go and see him today. And my books. Some of them are maybe worth more than this entire place. And you and I will have to part ways. Why should my father and I stay here anyway? What do we have left? Well, that doesn't matter. And what did you think? But tell me this. Why didn't you say anything when Ziska gave the order to burn the tower?
Well, don't keep a lady waiting long.
I suppose I was being unfair to you. I'm sorry.
Not in absolutely everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree.
At least that killer knows he can't get away with it that easily. The problem is the captives will be the first in line when the king learns of the theft. Is that so? We'll have to flee from here. Possibly for good. Ziska's herd will be here tomorrow. I'd like to get some sleep before then. What's to stop him from executing them one by one? Or worse, torturing them into revealing everything they know?
Jesus Christ!
And he just let you talk him out of it? You really found it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks. But don't expect me to be falling around your neck now. Thank you for your candour. All right, I believe you. And thank you for your candour.
Fine, come by another time.
But don't leave a lady waiting. There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
I understand. If you did find a little time, stop by. You won't regret it.
That's a good start. One more thing. Do you remember how I asked you to bring me my book from Malashov? By the way, if you ever want to learn anything besides waving a sword, you know who to go to, right?
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
So, it remained in Malashov? All right. I just wanted to make sure you understand that. And that I can trust you not to leave my father behind if the plan goes awry. If you get the king's silver, my father and I will have to hide. Leave the region, go somewhere out of Sigismund's men's reach. I have my crossbow. If anyone comes uninvited, I can take care of them. You're right. Let's drop it. You carried it for quite a while. In that time, I would have read it twice over.
By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
By the way, do you know what they write about in it?
Maybe.
But your duties are elsewhere. Capon's estate is in Ratai. Besides, he'll be getting married, and you'll surely be accompanying him.
No, it's not that.
But I thought, or maybe I was just hoping, that you were different and not just looked on. You actually joined in those atrocities they committed.
Or not at all.
They're monsters with no honour or conscience. They and that pack of theirs.
Now please, leave me alone.
Take a look around, see if there's any bed you could spend the night in. Not to mention, it wouldn't last you very long anyway.
There's nothing left here anyway.
Just look around.
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
I don't trust them, and they're frightening.
Yes, well, a woman has an album what she can procure for herself. When von Berghoff took me to Malashov, I found it myself.
I have my doubts, but I have no choice but to believe you.
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
My word, that all sounds very nice, but there's nothing left here anyway. We've lost everything.
Is that so?
Well, I'll miss you too.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me? I shall await you in my chambers, with great anticipation. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Better late than never. Thanks.
Come by during the day, when we have enough light. I just think you might find some common ground with the author.
Would you please leave me alone? If everything were to go wrong at the Italian court and, God forbid, you had to choose.
I understand. You'd had other things to worry about there. So tell me what I'm supposed to think when you looked on without a word. It was waiting for me there in the end. So my involuntary stay at Malashov was at least good for something.
Oh well, there's no use in crying over spilled milk.
That's nice.
But no one can get back my mother's silver, my brother's hunting trophies.
That's true. I figured that, especially when I found it myself in Malashov. And it wasn't even very carefully hidden.
That too. But if you actually do rob the Royal Mint, we'll also be suspects. It doesn't feel much like home anymore. They were behaving like animals in here.
That's putting it lightly. But as they say, factum is factum. The book is lost, I'm disappointed, and you are...
Thank you. And you get some sleep too, so you're rested up for it.
I'd lost all hope. Thank you. In that case, we can get started right away. It's all gone.
Great.
At least I know where you and I stand.
That you wouldn't stoop to the level of those, well, Ziska and the devil. Would you still try to rescue my father? Even if it meant putting stealing the silver in jeopardy?
Dear Lord, this is torture. What's taking them so long? I should have gone and dealt with it myself.
I hope you're all right, Papa. That's what happens when you leave it to the men.
Damn it. I can't just stand idly by. My God, what the... Lord have mercy. Who did this to you? Who did this to you? You poor creature. Christ, is nothing sacred anymore? A corpse! Lord have mercy. Wait, that's a... And the company of my library would certainly behoove you.
And was there any proof that this really was the case? That she wasn't making it up?
I know, but what do you want to do? Sit back and wait for them to die of old age?
Find it nice and quietly, then come back.
Yes, and?
So am I. You took your time about it. Didn't you say, perchance, that you were in a hurry?
Ah, I see. I heard Bocek was looking for a suitor for her. Well, congratulations are in order. There are many such in the world. Why did she catch your eye?
You know, you might not be aware of it, but you saved us from a mountain of trouble.
And Henry, be careful.
And even if he's not too keen, tell him we'll pay him for the horses.
And if I'm really lucky, they'll find me some old man who will drop dead before we even leave the church.
Does it seem like I have a choice? I can't just go and become somebody's squire like you.
In that case, I'm not going to make it easy for you. If you'd like to know why it's so important to me, you'll have to find it first.
Or feeds a village when the crops fail.
Ugh, better not, actually. You might just lose it. And don't forget to take a torch. It'll be dark in the passageway. Obviously.
And did you meet the devil there? And not a day goes by when I do not think of him. In spite of everything, he was my older brother, and I miss him. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right? And it seems Father still wishes she would at times.
And now pay attention. Somewhere in those ruins is a stone cross. You have to find it and look where its top points to.
And that's bad? And you think it was the work of Satan? More like a band of thieves or some robber baron. I was wondering whether something bad had happened to you. And like a goose, I wondered whether something had happened to you. And meanwhile, you've been running around all over the place and you haven't even thought of me. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
Which I will return in kind. There's something I need from you as well.
And take this, so you don't get lost in the fortress. And did you believe her? One day you might end up surprised. Oh, I see. When I run into one, I'll warn her, don't worry. But I desire of you something else entirely, you dunderhead. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Oh dear. So all the rich are fools except those who once helped you. Ah, what a truly chivalrous gesture. Oh? I take it then that you don't agree with this whole thing. But I'm afraid it was now and nevermore, if you know what I mean. But thank you, anyway. Ah, but you did. You better not look at me too much. At least go into the court blinded by my beauty. That wouldn't be very entertaining now, would it?
But there's one more thing. That's why I would like to ask you for one favour.
Please do stop by sometime. I wager it would be enlightening for both of us. You don't have to push yourself for my sake. But don't worry, it's only a short walk from the fork. But don't you want to learn something useful for a change? You're not going to fool the guards by talking about their dazzling beauty. But some things can't be changed. But they can't stay here either. They'd give us away.
Getting into the castle is the easy part. Don't forget, you have to get out too. But you mustn't breathe a word of it to anyone. Understand? But tell me, would you do it if you didn't need our help in return?
But that vow is for your entire life. You can go to hell for that. But it's hard to blame him.
And that's not all.
But this is our home. Our property. They have no right. But seriously, taking justice into your own hands like that is walking on very thin ice.
But back to the bats.
Yes. And also to ride a horse, curse in 3 languages, belch aloud, and other things every proper lady should know. If they hadn't quarrelled, Benson might still be here today. But there's no point in going on about it.
So I can tell you how to get to our fortress.
Maybe not. But a person needs allies. If someone accused her of lying and she had no way to defend herself, she would be in trouble. Yes, that scum has no right to defile this place with their presence. It's our home, our property. When my pa is free and an opportunity presents itself, I'll have to get married. When we break through the wall, only a thin partition will be between us and the cellars of the Italian court. When someone catches you, you'll rot in the pillory. Good day, Henry. We're about to leave. That'll be a tough one. But how do you imagine a ghost? Or the dead come to life? I try not to think about it. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. I'll be thinking of you all. I mean, especially you. There are! That's why I'm shouting! What do you mean, maybe? You've already told someone? It was now or never. There could be no better time given the circumstances. I waited for you to come back, to no avail. Were you so painfully bored? In the cellar, conveniently enough. It's always best to arrive inconspicuously. God knows, some people won't understand it otherwise. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
I followed them for a while, and I noticed that in one corner they simply disappeared into a wall. Strange, isn't it?
A poor man who shares his last groschen with others. What interests you about them? What do you want? Supposing I went and told the guards what you've just done. Anyway, what's Lord Capon's problem with underground passageways?
What are you staring at? Do you think I was born yesterday? I was listening to you from the top of the stairs.
What about it? What's the point of that, you wretch? Why are you still here? Father gave you a task, didn't he? What are you doing? You should be ashamed of yourself. You oaf!
Didn't they ever teach you conscientia militestes?
What's the hurry? I've got plenty of time.
What is it?
What? Take care of yourself, stranger. I hope take care of yourself. You hear me?
Hard-headed. Aren't you a bit impertinent?
Thank you. I think it's for the best.
I had always thought Venser was determined, brave and proud.
All right, I'm sorry. Do you know any others like that? It is quite possible you won't get back to Malashov again. So don't forget about me. Don't get yourself killed. All the silver in the world isn't worth your life. I haven't given it much thought yet.
Let me remind you to whom you are speaking.
Stay close to me so you don't get lost.
Thank you, but I can't go nevertheless. Papa would jump out of his skin if he even heard of such a thing.
Et tu, Henry! Oof, that startled me. Hey! Over here!
Please tell Hashtal that Papa is still paying for masses for his dead father, as agreed years ago.
Hey, Henry!
Listen, nearby Malashov is a stud farm managed by Hashtal, an old friend of Papa's. Hey, I'm not going to stand here growing roots until you decide to open your mouth.
Nice. Really? Mea culpa. You are full of surprises. Maybe resist handsome men who are skilled with the sword and can recite Italian phrases? I'm listening. Silence is golden, eh?
Lucky me.
Sorry, I was a silly goose to bring it up.
Really?
This is going to be a bit difficult. This book won't be getting any more done, but it was a long way from how a native Italian speaks. Did you underestimate a woman's weapons? Not a winning strategy. What did she do to you?
Although,
maybe it won't even matter.
I'd rather say determined.
I'm waiting. And then von Bergoff's people came and told me they had jailed father as an enemy of the crown and that I was to go with them.
I'll take careful notes of everything. For Christ's sake, do I have to write it down for you?
It certainly won't be me, and I recommend you keep quiet as well. Are we clear?
I knew it. Sweet on the outside, swine on the inside.
And how did this girl find out?
How do you feel? Did they look after you all right?
How was your time at the fortress? I mean, when it was still standing.
How are you so calm? A task for the lowest lackey, wouldn't you say?
Such audacity! As the daughter of an enemy of the crown, I had to go with them. She was widowed, young, and inherited a heap of groschen from her husband. In just a few years, she made the pile even bigger, because she has a nose for a good deal. As my father's sole heiress, I have 3 options. Marriage, a nunnery, or jumping off the battlements.
All right.
Now turn around so you can't see up my skirt. I might well have tried. It's your work as well. You can't braid a whip out of cow patties.
There's a bit of a snag.
Come here.
It all started when I was 12. One morning, I found a bat nailed to the Malashov gate. Peculiar, eh?
You'd better be careful. A hair's breadth separates the heroic from the foolhardy. Just a few words. But it's enough to know your accent needs some work. I'm just teasing you. If you want to side with the poor, go ahead.
Except he was really more stubborn, short-tempered, and vain.
Venser was a hothead. He kept urging father not to put up with insults and stand his ground.
Of course it is. That's how I designed it.
Not yet. But I know how it goes.
Not yet. Something's missing.
If we want to be sure they won't give us away, we've no choice. You didn't have to go through all that trouble.
I could have written it myself. If you want something from me, you'll find me in my chambers. Or somewhere else. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. If you see one like that, it will certainly be mine.
Henry! There you are.
Henry! What the hell are you doing?
Henry! Over here!
Henry!
Certainly. Apology accepted. You know, Henry, I want to ask you something. And I want an honest answer. All right? Am I mad?
Not exactly. I just thought you were different.
I'm all ears.
I'm glad you helped us. But I'm not going to wait for you all day.
I'm Lord Ruthard's daughter. Our name still means a lot, despite all the trouble we're in.
Don't worry.
You can blame me for all the mistakes.
Are you all right, Papa?
Are you all right, Henry? I think I hit one too.
You're in your element, aren't you?
You're observant. When they captured Pa, von Bergov's people stormed into Ruthard Palace. Everything is ready in that chest over there. Actually, Venser went to defend the city a bit, out of defiance. We didn't even have time to say goodbye.
Well, you don't need to answer that.
Damn, I didn't count on it being so deep. Where are you going? We go this way. Where are you taking me? Ruthard Palace is the other way. Every proper story should have a moral, right?
At any rate, I also require some help. In a particular matter. I figured you weren't helping us just out of the goodness of your heart. But thank you for your candor.
Why don't you give it a try, eh? If the church got wind of her dreams, they'd judge her right away. And harshly. If you'd ever like to learn something again, you know who to go to, right? If Pa were to see this, if I'm lucky, I'll marry a young nobleman and soon bear him a bunch of children. When I mentioned it at Sukdol, he looked like he was about to faint. But if you're going there now, of course not. Whenever I thought that of someone, I was quickly disabused of my illusions. If you come and ask me nicely, I'll be happy to help you with it. When they captured Pa, von Bergov's people came to Ruthard Palace.
Maybe in a while. But first we have to discuss something more important.
Very well then. I understand. You'd better get some more practice, or you'll give yourself away as soon as you step inside the court.
I hope your word carries some weight.
Kuttenberg, take note. Here comes Henry and Margaret, defenders of justice. The legate's robe only needs a few stitches, but when Janos tried to stuff himself into his hose, the whole seam came loose. Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
I like your determination. I've got a feeling you're looking for me, Henry.
I've tried to patch them up and wash the worst stains out, but you can still tell the fate of their previous owner. Father explained to him in vain that to respond to such provocations would give the king's people an excuse to take from us.
The thing that I was most interested in was where they got that bat.
Worried or not, it doesn't matter now. You're alive. So am I, oddly enough. And now we have other things to deal with. No, I wasn't harmed. But before they took me away, they ransacked the place. Then von Bergov just took me to Malashov. No. And that really suited his people. They grabbed whatever they could get their hands on.
My chambermaid told me that a bat nailed above the entrance repels all evil and protects the house against sickness.
Shh. He'd give you hell if he heard you. Perhaps I could help you with that. It's likely Vavak took our home for himself. He's always threatened to do that. Right. But the tunnels were checked properly before they started building the church. If some part collapsed, we'd be the first to know. It will certainly be enlightening for both of us. Maybe you aren't a completely hopeless case. But you've a ways to go yet. I thought you wanted to read it as soon as possible. I mean, when I was little, of course.
I'm serious.
I don't think he'd allow it either way.
I think you're no fool, so you shouldn't have any trouble.
You mean Lord Bocek's niece?
Would you seriously want me there? What if something were to go wrong? Wouldn't a girl like me be more of a burden to you? So, this passage. I wanted to ask you, since you're going to be at Malashov, if you could bring me something from there. At the crossroads near Hushtal's stud farm is a wayside shrine. Nearby is a group of boulders by the road. We had a wayside shrine set up at the crossroads before the stud farm.
Thanks. I am. For now.
You won't believe the coincidence, but we share the same name. That's exactly what the chambermaid told me too.
I'm not that good a storyteller in person. And don't forget, it's your work too. But otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's never been needed, thank God. But everything is ready there. There's a strong door and a ladder that we can pull up behind us.
Be careful!
And if it weren't for me, no one would know about that passageway to this day. And your whole plan to save your friend would go down the latrine.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad it happened. And that it was with you. Don't get me wrong, Henry. I like you very much. Or just as something you have to kill in order to survive. Or a nobleman who takes a chest full of groschen and builds a church with it. Fear not, the ink is already dried. Don't you worry. You don't have to hold my hand in my own home. My dearly departed mother used to say that the Twilight Witch would carry me off if I misbehaved. Oh, stop it. You'll make me blush.
Stop that! You'll get strung up if you're not careful.
He doesn't want to go down in history as the weak Ruthard, who gave away his entire estate to Sigismund and ended the family line.
Do you want to look around here a bit?
Some are remnants of the original mine gallery, but other parts are much more recent. Oof. Well, we have to get to the other side somehow. Aren't you playing Advocatus Diaboli? They can't all be rotten and evil. Nothing, most likely. Someone's trying to break through the door. It's not my fault they were born before me. But if you want someone living, then Anna of Waldstein. There's no point in dallying. You don't say. And why aren't I laughing? No, they won't. I'll be round the corner before they have a chance. There's a wooden balustrade there all the way to the window. It's like climbing a ladder. Don't waste time, stranger. Go and see Christian in the mines.
If you go the way the cross is pointing, you'll find another one, and again follow the direction it's pointing in.
I've never met her, but Pa said we were about the same age. Well, now we're done.
Yes, but you had to take the monastic vows, didn't you?
Well, every day is not Sunday.
You're right.
All right, keep your secrets. Oh, my. And not just one. But I asked first. I'd much rather go through the main gate myself. But we can't very well. Oh, sure. The moment there are no heads to chop or bellies to slit, our good knight is unamused. Is that right? Well, on the other hand...
Never mind. It's a big white column. You can't miss it. Well, never mind. Wait, though. We haven't got to the hard part yet.
Exactly. We must get rid of them. Come on. Stop pretending you can't hear me. Well, yes. Pretty much. Go on. Read it. I want to hear what you think of it. Well, you said it was hardly knee-deep. Well, go make amends. I need a critical eye so I know what to improve. Come on. I should say so. For example, the Queen of Sheba, Mary the Prophetess, Hypatia of Alexandria. Maybe. Or Fridush Kummel, his lapdog, if he hasn't escaped the leash. Well, just about finished. Well now, he didn't take me out for a ride. What exactly would he find out about? Entire libraries could be written about that.
I'd like to hear more about that.
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch.
I found out from the guards that they caught the poor creatures somewhere in the cellars. So I went to have a look there and found a whole swarm of them. From the shrine, you should be able to see a group of boulders. Truly, the pleasure is ours.
Stop that right now, Henry.
Careful! What if someone sees you? Again, carry on the way that the cross is pointing, and you should come to a small clearing, where there's a cross in the stones or something like that. I can't recall exactly. That ought to give us enough time to get to the end and dig our way out. In that case, you certainly won't refuse my request for a little service?
Remember when we worked on finishing my book together? You immediately hightailed it.
I remember. There was even a priest there at the time, and he wasn't at all happy about it. He was afraid we'd dig into hell.
Good God! What have you done? Impressive. That sounded really good.
Lord, that sounds like a story of some saint.
Impressive. You sound like a native Italian.
It's hard to explain to someone uninitiated in the mysteries of writing.
Well, you didn't help me much. The water's over there. Soon there'll be a fork, and from there it's only a short distance. You'll see. Most of them have known me since I was a little girl, and they're not easily frightened. Usually there's only a small trickle running through here. The water must have risen, but there's no other path anyway. Watch your tongue, so this water sprite doesn't drag you under. I'm sure the word's got round town about what happened at the palace. And if anyone saw us, you know... Wait a moment. Wait. You just packed up and ran off.
You can thank me another time.
The last Ruthard in Kuttenberg. After the death of his son, there remains only a daughter, who will not bear the family name. Hurry! Before that cursed Vavak destroys us.
Hurry!
After you brought me the book from Malashov, I've seen neither hide nor hair of you.
We need to find and mark the point where the crypt wall joins with the tunnel.
True enough. In that case, you better avoid their attention. Or hope they're worse shots than me.
A lot.
Pay attention and you'll learn everything.
After all, You don't want any old idiot to find the secret passageway to your castle.
Imagine you're felling a tree. You have an axe. You sink it into the wood and put all your strength into it. Try. Imagine a beautiful lady is standing before you and you are courting her. What would you do? Imagine you are wearing something very uncomfortable. Does that surprise you?
That was exactly my intention when I thought it up. Thanks, Henry. That's exactly what I was thinking. Fortunately, I know how to arrange that. You can find the exact place if you know where and how to look.
Stop! Cut that out right now! Do you think there's anything to talk about? Oh my God! Why do you ask? Forgive me. I'll stop now. So, tell me, what bad traits shall we give our old moneybags? Did you at least peruse a few of the pages? A book. It has great value to me, and I was starting to worry it would stay there forever. Now keep quiet and turn round. I don't want you looking up my skirt. Better tell me about another one. At midnight, you climb onto the battlements, turn on your heel 3 times, say the magic formula, and it'll open up. I waited to see if you'd show up, but von Bergov's people came instead.
Parents have no understanding for the adventurous soul, do they?
I see, but allow me one question. Who is the greater benefactor? Like I said, through the underground, Lord Ruthard's daughter, and the bastard son of the Lord of Skalitz, who was driven out of his estate by Sigismund himself. That's not going to happen, naturally. As a father, he lost a son. As a Ruthard, he lost his future. There's 2 reasons for mourning. Of course not. But at least you can see nobody cares a damn what I want. Are you a Christian at all? Clever girl. Looks like she had your cake and ate it too. Too bad. You might impress the guards. Did you hear that? Come here. Look at all this mess. I can hardly recognize this place. Well, no. But it would be nice. I hope so. But that's still far from certain. But I think that spending more time in my company, I hope you come back to us soon. God willing. Someday she'll learn and mend her ways. It won't work out for her forever. Do you have any idea how many times they had to wash, dress, and groom me to make me presentable to my father? Henry, come here. Do you hear me? But I had to make sure that they did what they promised. Wise, caring, considerate, and strict. You'll have to try not to make it too obvious that it's just a disguise. I've told you, haven't I? Via the secret passage. I know where the entrance is, so all you have to do is come with me. Someone would have to tell him first. And I'm not exactly going to boast about it. Are you? So, are you regretting taking me with you? Why do you ask anyway? Would you rather search all over the woods for it?
You dig there, and you should get to the passageway.
You'd better forget all about it. That phrase isn't going to impress anyone at the court anyway. You won't help me much like that. About face. We won't get anywhere like this. Turn round.
I hope so too. Anyway, it should direct you towards some ruins. Go there.
There's a lot of gossip about her too. As if it were criminal for a woman to have more than cooking and washing on her mind. So if you do find the book, you'll be able to read it. So I didn't bore you to death. Poor fellow. Did he just fall for her story? So I can tell you're saying it just like an Italian merchant would. Our plan may very well fail, and no one might survive. Why throw something nice away prematurely? You know, carpe diem et memento mori. So you imagine life to be like scales, with one pan for good deeds and the other for sins. So you fell for it too.
Go there and look for a stone cross. Go in the direction that the top of the cross is pointing until you find another cross. Papa would never admit it, but alone, we wouldn't be able to resist the mint master for long.
Father is... We're not going anywhere now. Tomorrow's another day. We're not going anywhere now. Tomorrow's another day.
Well now, I have to admire your knowledge.
Well, you're still struggling a bit. And before you head off, I'd like to ask you for one favour.
These cutthroats have just rescued you all.
Especially when that person doesn't even try to hide them. Someone would have to tell him.
That should lead you to a small clearing, marked by a cross in the rocks.
Nor would I. But now the tables are turned. It felt good to rub his nose in it.
What nonsense! I've never heard of that happening to anyone.
That's good. I hope the Lord heard you and your soul is cleansed.
That's a nice name.
That's blasphemy. Oh, let's talk about something else. Speak is a strong word. More like I caught a few words here and there. Like just that.
As you say, quid pro quo. I was full of curiosity, and I talked Papa into having the wall demolished.
That is certainly strange, but it still seems more like a coincidence. If I were that girl, I would have kept my mouth shut. She could have been burned. No, but putting your bad habits on display for all to see isn't great either.
No, but that's all water under the bridge. Anyway, back to the story. Surely that wasn't necessary.
You can't be serious. Right on holy ground.
Don't tell me. You're stamping like a horse.
Although, I can imagine. Where are you going? Do you have something more important to do? It is noble of you to think of my reputation.
Certainly not. I found it because I notice things that others dismiss as nothing.
Are you tired already?
You know, I was awfully inquisitive back then.
You are in mining country, you know. There's more going on here below ground than above. I can hardly wait.
She did that alone.
Is that the best you can do?
I can understand that.
Perhaps it's full of vulgar poetry.
And also richly illuminated.
I don't need to look far. My father, and my brother as well, have taught me much in this vein.
Psst! Do you hear me? Come here.
I could almost believe you're completely blinded by my beauty.
It shouldn't be hard. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. You won't find many like such there. Yours.
Oh, your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward.
You barbarian! What's got into you?
You're just the epitome of willingness, aren't you? Cape on this, cape on that. Yet you're immune to the persuasions of a lady. You really know how to compliment a lady, eh? You risked your life for that book, and then didn't even look at what was in it. Strange. My brother taught me, before father forbade it. I was a better rider than most of our guardsmen. One stupid night with a nobleman's bastard can hardly change that. I know only a few words. Italian merchants used to come here sometimes, so I learnt a bit here and there.
It leads to the cellars, but the outside entrance is hidden underground in a forest, not far from the castle.
We'll see each other soon, if it still is our home. Maybe there's a new master of the house now. You should already be on your way to Horsham. The moment you left for Malashov, I prayed you wouldn't meet your maker because of that book. You can come in now.
Restraint, valiant knight. I value your determination, but this way would give yourself away immediately, and I'd remain without my book.
None taken.
You men always take your sweet time.
Really?
And who did she swindle?
Really? And in what way?
Really?
I'll take that as the highest possible compliment.
You've earned the right to the gratitude and friendship of our house for all time.
The mess is the last thing on my mind. There was my mother's silver, my brother's hunting trophies, and my books.
Have you ever seen a heron?
Imitate one. Have you ever seen anyone play a flute? So sit down and pretend you're playing one.
See? And you're not 12 years old.
You see? When I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. Do you know how a priest gets ready to pray? He crosses himself, clasps his hands and such. Show me that so I can capture it.
I'm glad you ask, because it's a really interesting story. I bet that riffraff didn't find it. You'll get your comeuppance one day.
It pulls and scratches and pinches, and you're just trying to put up with it. How would you look? Get going. I hope Christian helps us.
Embroidery wasn't exactly my passion, and Papa forbade me from riding out into the woods, so at least I explored the fortress from top to bottom.
I know I'm no master illuminator.
I've told you already, haven't I? Have you really forgotten? Or do you just enjoy talking to me so much? But as you probably guessed, there was nothing behind the wall but a passageway leading off into darkness. Beyond them are the remains of an old chapel. You'll have to find it, and then there's a kind of how can I describe it? A window. A gap you can look through. Behind them, you'll find another chapel, an old one. When you look through the gap in it, you'll see ruins on the hill opposite.
Assuming that any come back to them. But you're right otherwise. They're acting like they own the place. You killed most of von Bergov's garrison at Malashov, and now you want me to tell you what to do?
No catch. On the contrary.
Not a relative, you blockhead. Me. I wrote it. No beating around the bush. How about that? I barricaded the door. I'm sure I can hold out for a while.
You've done plenty to help, and now it's our turn. Papa said something like that, didn't he? Stop off at the stud farm I told you about and ask Hashtal for horses.
Please do. I'll be glad.
Papa came up with that. He said one never knows what might happen, so I thought up the idea with the crosses. Women writing books.
Come now. Sigismund keeps filching bits of our estate, but even so, we count ourselves among the richest families in the city. Try to look like a miser. Show me the quintessence of stinginess. Do you know any other interesting ladies?
Back to work. Which bad trait did you choose?
Especially if you'll be my model.
Greetings, Henry. What are you all dressed up for?
Oh, you're just saying that.
God be with you, Henry. You look somehow different today, and yet something here doesn't smell so good.
Could it be vanity? Haven't you got anything better to do?
Good morning, Henry.
Ah, pretend I never spoke.
Good day, Henry. Good day.
Oof, never mind then. Sorry. You look different. Have you been to the baths?
Ignoramus, as you wish. Say nothing and examine your conscience. Go ahead then, I'll just wait.
Am I invisible, or what?
Don't you have anything better to do?
Be considerate. You'll make me blush.
An enchanting night, don't you think? Aren't these summer evenings just gorgeous?
You again? Are you following me? Aren't you ashamed to show your face to me? How rude!
Well, excuse me. I wish you a lovely day. Lovely day, don't you think? Lovely morning, isn't it? Lovely evening. Save the compliments for when you really need them. Mannerless clod. Perhaps next time, then.
You won't even give me the time of day.
A little. Not that it's an unpleasant surprise.
Oh, if Papa heard you.
You jester. An evening just created for a nice stroll, eh? Forget it. Take care.
That may be so, but a courteous man should offer to help a lady. Don't worry, though. I'm not some fragile petal. I most certainly do. Unless you want to prove to me that you really are an uncouth village oaf after all. No. Don't you see how deep it is ahead of us? Shallow or not, would you seriously let a lady wade waist deep in cold water? Maybe there is something knightly about you, after all.
I hope we won't be surprised. The last time you were here, you didn't lift a finger. God Almighty, hold your protective hand above us. I love you, Papa. Divide et impera. God knows, that ginger fox is a master of dividing and conquering.
You think that will make them let us off the hook? Father?
Henry, this is Sir Martin Oderin, Lord of Rabosh, a loyal supporter of King Wenceslas, as no doubt you've already deduced.
That's right.
We've got copies here. The original books are safely stashed away out of your reach. We've got copies here. The original books are safely stashed away under lock and key. But you've been to see other councillors too, haven't you? Have you any good news from anyone? Martin, this is Henry, our ally from Liechtenstein.
Was I supposed to just watch that toady of Sigismund's humiliate you? Like father, like daughter. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
I'll help you into your armour, Papa. Henry's right. If he helps us again like last time, we have nothing to fear.
Why care about other people's troubles, eh?
What? I'm going with you.
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home? So you decided to save your own neck. You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here.
Of course not! Do you think we're completely stupid? Of course not! Do you think we're completely stupid? Well, that didn't work out, did it? Papa! Are you all right? Papa! My God! You're hurt! I hope not.
We're sorry to hear that.
Really? You didn't help us much last time.
We'll get back at him, Pa.
You won't wriggle out of this, Vavak. Better people than you have been executed for lesser crimes than yours.
I saved your life, didn't you notice? But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship.
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours. Of course. That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Why not, if you insist? I prefer the term Amazon. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. Or I could teach you how to shoot. And if you turn out to be truly talented, even how to hit something. But quid pro quo. Since I'm wasting my time with you, I want at least a few groschen for the trouble. So, what would you like? But you look like you're on your last legs. Pull yourself together and come back another time, all right? I can't teach you to be polite now, but if you ask nicely, I can try to drum some sense into your head. What do you want to know? Listen closely, so I don't have to repeat myself. But I can't right now. Come back another time, all right? Again, if you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you. Jesus! Mary, Mother of God! No! No, you can't! Henry, no! You can't do that! You can't be serious! My God! Henry! You swine! Who do you think you are? Sir Hans? Henry? Lord Capon? Henry?